all of a sudden there's a new longing, a new idea, or a new problem, a new discontent, a new challenge, which is your opportunity to step into your potential. Hi, it's Stacey Berger here with Mastering Your Mindset. Today we are talking about divine discontent with a very special guest, Tammy Banting. Tammy and I have known each other for 9 or 10 years now, and Tammy is a friend and a mentor and somebody I look up to as somebody who is so crystal clear in her thinking and just knowing the power her thoughts have to create her reality. Right. You are a wedding officiant, right, and have been doing that for how long?
Right. I've been doing that for over 9 years, and I've performed over 1,000 wedding ceremonies.
Yes.
So best job in the world. It's I feel so grateful to have found it, and it allows me to be creative and to be with people in the most special times of their life. So it's really a perfect job.
Yeah. Life was going along, and there was many moments in the day where you were just like, I don't think I could be any happier.
That's right.
Life was good on all fronts.
It was.
And then you had this idea.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So in the middle of being so happy and thinking life was going along tickety-boo, this idea of that I believe really strongly in is something called divine discontent. And it is when the universe, no matter how well your life is going along, taps you on the shoulder and says, there's something more. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you think, I don't want anything more. Can we just keep it status quo?
This is pretty good.
So this idea of being a wedding officiant, one of the feedback that I always got is from my couples, or always get from my couples, is that their ceremony was perfect to them, was a perfect reflection of them. I was so happy about that, but I can't possibly do any more ceremonies. I physically can't do more than I book. So I thought, how can I bring this idea into a greater realm? So the universe sort of planted this seed. Well, what about an e-commerce site? And I thought, well, that's a great idea, because then even if I'm not performing the ceremony, other couples could have the opportunity to create this perfect ceremony. So I came up with the company perfectweddingceremony.com. So it's a place where couples can go on and just through a wedding ceremony script builder can build a ceremony for themselves. So that seemed pretty easy. I thought, this is going to be a slam dunk.
Yeah. So life is good. You've got the idea. It's a great idea. I'm going to go and implement it, and it'll be home run.
Perfect. That's exactly how it was supposed to work out. Like most new things, it's been a challenge. It's been exciting, and it's really challenged me to do something new, because I'm a true believer that we cannot stay in one status quo position. And so this is what the universe gave me to work with. And so every day I'm just learning something new about it, trying to find the secret sauce. And I just know for anyone out there, as I know for myself, is if you have an idea for your life, for your career, for your family, anything, that is your idea to work with. And so the universe plants it, and then we need to begin to see, how do we grow that particular idea? Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So planted the seed, and now you've been to work at it, and there's been challenges. And I think that's so important, because sometimes we get into this personal development world and we think, oh, if I just think positively, if I just put it out there, it's all going to work out perfectly. Right. And that's not always how it happens.
It's
right?
not how it happens.
It's in the challenges and it's in the problems. That's where the growth occurs.
That's right. And anything that comes up for us that challenges us is just the universe saying to us that there's something for us to know about that. And so we get together with friends who happen to perhaps be coaches, which is very nice. And we talk about some of the challenging things and what are our limiting beliefs around that particular challenge. You want to continue to polish the stone, to look at it differently, get input.
Yeah. So what have you found as you've gone through this process, and it's putting yourself out there in a completely different way? What are some of the beliefs that have come up for you that you've had to maybe reprogram or repattern?
Yeah. So the minute that something comes up that you are challenged by, for myself, I'm thinking, I'm not smart enough to do this. I don't know how to do this. I can't learn this new thing. So I let myself stay in that energy for about 12 seconds. And then I just look at those thoughts again. And I think, what is in front of me to do? What can I do? How can I reprogram that belief? And so I'm really looking at it that way, as this new learning curve, and learning all the things that I can, and never succumbing to this idea that I'm not enough, I'm not smart enough. I'm not succumbing to that.
So you say 12 seconds. How long have you been studying science of mind and the power of your thoughts? How long have you been in that study?
I've been in science of mind for 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 20 years, and now you're able to only have that thought for about 12 seconds.
Right.
But sometimes for those of us who are newer in this idea, sometimes it can last a week, a day, right? A longer period of time. But what happens with study and repetition, what used to be a week is now 6 days,
Absolutely.
5 days, 4 days, until we become masters. And it's a few seconds where we're noticing that limiting belief, and we can start to reframe that.
Absolutely. That's the whole key, is to, you will always go into that energy, because that is the universe. That's the divine discontent. That when we're going along and we're feeling so excited about something, and then we get pulled in another direction, but it's because we are creative beings, and that the universe wants us to feel a little bit of friction so that we can grow through it. And that is the truth. You never stop going into that energy. It's how long you stay in that energy.
Yeah, great. I love that. I love that, because it's so easy to look at people who've reached a high level of success and say, oh, they don't have any fear. They don't have any struggle. They don't have any problems. And that's just not true. It's what they do with it and how they manage it and reframe it and use it as that stepping stone.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit more about Perfect Wedding Ceremonies and how that works, and if somebody's interested in using that as a tool.
When you're a bride or a bride and groom and you're doing any kind of internet searches for anything, you will be completely overwhelmed by all of it. So there's your dresses and your flowers and your venues and your DJ, and there's all of these things to think about. And it seems like your ceremony gets maybe pushed to the very back of the line. So what perfectweddingceremony.com is just a place, a super easy point and click website where you can go on, look at ceremony scripts, look at the one that really feels like the two of you. People will go to wedding ceremonies, and they'll be looking at the couple getting married, and they'll think, that sounds nothing like that couple. Their ceremony is not any reflection of who they actually are. So this is a place to go, have a look at what is possible for your ceremony. There's hundreds and hundreds of different options that are super easy to point and click, so that you can put together your vows, the readings in your ceremony, everything in a very simple way to create a ceremony that feels exactly like the two of you.
And I also love the metaphor that when we get married and we walk down that aisle and we say these vows and now we're married, it's an agreement that we're living into every day past then, right? Yeah. Just by saying those vows, now you're a married couple. And I think it's the same with our dreams and with our visions. It's something that we live into every day.
Right.
And through the discontent, that divine discontent and those challenges. So
Absolutely.
Congratulations on your new venture. And check Tammy out at perfectweddingceremonies.com. And here is to your success.